Mumbai, 2:03 a.m. The rain that night didn't fall, it hammered. The city was drenched in a restless thunder, but Inspector Aryan Kapoor stood motionless at the gates of the abandoned textile mill in Dadar East. A solitary ambulance idled nearby. No sirens. Just the muffled voices of constables and the metallic scent of blood in the air. The body lay in the center of the mill floor like it had been placed there intentionally. No signs of a struggle. One stab wound. Clean. Precise. Deliberate. Aryan crouched beside the corpse. Male. Early 30s. Expensive boots, but everything else was generic clothes stripped of labels, even the watch had the brand scratched out. Someone didn't want him identified. But the killer left one mark untouched, a tattoo of a black king chess piece on the victim's inner wrist. Aryan froze. It was the same mark he'd seen on a charred corpse 7 years ago, a body dumped in Bandra Creek, mouth stuffed with rupee notes, throat slit. That man had been a whistleblower too, a former CBI informant. And this had to be connected. He knew then, the Black Castle was active again. Back at headquarters, the body was registered under a placeholder name, unknown male 47. Forensics found no fingerprints, no traceable DNA. Whoever he was, he had been wiped clean. But Aryan had his suspicions and a name buried deep in his memory, Ishita Rao. She'd once worked as a forensic auditor for a multinational financial firm, well respected, sharp as a scalpel. Then one day, she flagged some off-the-books transactions, massive movements of funds into shell companies tied to government infrastructure bids. A week later, her fiancé was found dead in a staged accident on the Western Express Highway. Ishita disappeared the same day. Now, years later, Aryan pulled up her archived file. The system had locked it. Classified, special permissions required. He hacked through it anyway. Location pinged, a remote house in the outskirts of Nashik under a false identity, Rima Thakur. Quiet, hidden, and watched. He drove there at night, headlights off. The house was silent, surrounded by sugarcane fields that rustled like whispers. Aryan approached cautiously. Before he could knock, the door opened. "I knew someone would come," said a voice from the dark. It was her. Ishita Rao. Same sharp eyes, though now hardened. Her hair shorter, lips pale, but posture alert. There was a revolver in her hand, finger resting lightly on the trigger. "I'm not here to hurt you," Aryan said. "But they're killing again. People tied to the castle." He showed her the photo. She went still. "That's Arjun Batra," she whispered. "He was working on getting out. He said he had files. Names. Secrets. He asked me to run numbers on encrypted accounts." "You still have the data?" Aryan asked. "No. He said he'd stash it in a place they'd never think to look. But that was 2 years ago. Then he vanished." Aryan leaned in. "Then we find where he left it." Ishita hesitated. "If we go after this, there's no going back." "I know," he said. "They killed you once already. But this time, we bury them." Aryan arranged for Ishita to be moved to a safe house off-grid, protected by only 4 officers he'd handpicked. He installed independent surveillance, isolated power, and made sure even the department head didn't know where she was. She started decrypting what little data she had left. Names began to appear: shell companies, shadow directors, politicians, mid-level crime bosses, and chillingly police officers. One night, Aryan left briefly to meet a contact. When he returned, the power was out. The cameras had gone black. Inside, Ishita was dead. A gunshot to the head. No signs of a break-in. Nothing stolen. Nothing touched except a single object placed beside her, a knight chess piece, tipped over. He screamed that night. Not out of grief but rage. They had betrayed him. One of his own men. Or maybe all of them. The castle had moles everywhere. Aryan went underground. Burned his ID, dumped his badge, wiped his name from databases. He was no longer Inspector Kapoor. Just a ghost in the machine. With Ishita's notes, he traced Arjun's last known routine. He lived in an upscale apartment under a fake name, visited an old Catholic cemetery twice a month, and donated to an orphanage in Dharavi. None of it made sense until Aryan found a safe deposit box listed under the orphanage's trust. Inside, a hard drive. Encrypted 6 layers deep. It took Aryan 5x hackers, 4 burner laptops, and the help of a retired raw code breaker to crack it. What was inside? Evidence of over 94 murders, 36 money laundering pipelines, 15 senior politicians, and a direct connection to a sitting cabinet minister. The castle wasn't a gang. It was a parallel system of power above government, above the law, controlling elections, policy, the police, the media. And Aryan now had the blueprints to destroy it. He leaked it in waves. First to underground journalists. Then to foreign media. Then to the public. At 9:04 a.m. on a Monday morning, every major news network lit up. Black Castle exposed. Secret crime syndicate infiltrating Indian government. By nightfall, people were resigning. A minister was arrested mid-flight. A high court judge was found unconscious in his home. A police commissioner vanished. But the castle struck back. A car bomb killed Aryan's former boss. A journalist's body was found hanging from a flyover. Aryan's old apartment was torched. He kept moving. Until one day, it stopped. The assassinations. The threats. The silence. And then, a photo arrived at the Mumbai Crime Bureau. It showed a man in his 60s, face bloodied, body slumped in a chair. His mouth stuffed with paper. A king chess piece pressed into his hand. The man was Mihir Taneja, former member of parliament, and the rumored kingmaker behind the Black Castle. Below the photo, game over, but I'm still watching. Years passed. Some say Aryan died in Nepal. Others believe he lives in the mountains of Himachal under a false name. But every year, on the anniversary of Ishita Rao's death, a chess piece arrives anonymously at the office of someone powerful, a knight, tipped over, sometimes burned, sometimes dipped in blood. And every year, someone high-ranking resigns without explanation. No one speaks his name anymore. But across every alley, boardroom, and courtroom of Mumbai, the criminals whisper of a man who sees everything and waits for the final piece to fall. They call him the ghost at the vanishing point.